Welcome to Offsides. To kick off the start of the basketball season, we're bringing you an all-NBA show. ESPN has officially ranked Kobe Bryant as the 40th best player in the NBA, and he's not happy about it. When NBA owners initially discussed changing the format of the draft lottery, it seemed like a change was inevitable. However, when it came down to the final vote, the system remained the same. LeBron James has boldly stated that the Chicago Bulls are the best team in the Eastern Conference. Is this a tactic to deflect some of the attention away from the Cavs, or does the King have a legitimate point? And finally, NBA general managers have voted that the San Antonio Spurs are primed for a repeat of a title, and that LeBron will be named league MVP in his first season back in Cleveland. Our analysts Josh Gutchis, Justin Akiva, and Nick Neville are here to break down the biggest headlines heading into the 2014-2015 season.
Thanks, Kelly. All right, guys, let's get right into it. Let's talk some LA. You guys saw that Kobe Bryant got rated number 40 in ESPN's the player rankings, top 100 players, whatever it was. He got number 40, so that's a big deal. And then the owner, Jeannie Buss, comes out and says that any free agent player that doesn't want to play with Kobe is just a loser. Just a loser. What do you guys make of all this? Do you guys think Kobe's just running this team into the ground?
Honestly, I think the rating was justifiable because we haven't really seen what he could do like last year. And you're not just going to give him like a top 10 ranking because he's going to be like a future Hall of Famer. Like he's getting up there. And to the point, is he running the team like into the ground? I don't really think so because the ESPN article said he was destroying the team from within. I don't really think a future Hall of Famer could be doing that. Like Kobe's still Kobe, but at the same time, I think he does have trouble like with those high-profile players because he always wants the ball. And like he had trouble with that with like Steve Nash when he came to the team.
Right. I agree. I mean, Kobe is not the reason this team is in the ground. They suck, all right? Listen, Steve Nash is old. He's probably done as of today. We don't even know if he's going to play another game for the rest of his career. He definitely is a Hall of Famer, but the Lakers don't have any. I mean, they have potential, but they don't have any skill right now. Nick Young made a foolish injury, trying to strip Kobe. I mean, don't ever try to do that. But you have potential everywhere. It's not there yet. Julius Randle's a rookie. Nick Young's, like I said, is out. Jeremy Lin, I don't know, man. Can he pull off another Linsanity? It's questionable.
It is questionable. And, I agree with you guys. I don't think he's necessarily running this team into the ground, but I think the Lakers as a whole need to start looking at Julius Randle. I think he's the key to the future. They need to, make him the focal point of the offense. Kobe's fading away. He's going to be gone in 3 years. He's not going to be here forever, so he can't be the focus of every decision for them. We're going to switch topics now. We're going to move to the Eastern Conference. And, guys, going into the season, it's basically a two-team race. You got the Cavs, you got the Bulls. Who do you guys think is the best team going in?
I'm going to take the Cavs. I like the Cavs because, that new big three that was formed, that's pretty exciting for me. I'm a huge Kevin Love guy, getting those rebounds, scoring a bunch of points. Kyrie's coming up, he's a superstar in this league at this point. And obviously you can't discount LeBron, so I think they're going to have a huge year. Also, kind of to make the comparison to 2007, 2008 when the Celtics Big Three was formed. Some people might say, well, they're not going to win the championship this year because, you need to mesh together as a group. Well, the Celtics came together with that Big Three with KG, Ray, and Pierce, and they won it the first year, so I think the Cavs can do that too.
Yeah, but Nick, do you know what? When LeBron and the Big Three came to Miami, it took a couple years for them to gel. I think that's what's going to happen in Cleveland. I like the Bulls right now, and you know what? Kevin Love, you like Kevin Love. What about on defense? He's not moving his feet too well. And Kyrie, he's known to take plays off on defense. He's going to have his hands full with Derrick Rose.
Listen, I agree with you. LeBron already said that the Bulls are a better team. First of all, I know he's trying to get the media away from them, all right? But listen, that just shows that he has no confidence at this point. It's ridiculous. Listen, like Josh said, Kevin Love is all offense. Kyrie Irving is all offense. LeBron is a defensive player, but he's trying to get Defensive Player of the Year. He doesn't deserve that. Listen, Derrick Rose, coming off injury, has looked great so far. I know USA, he went 1 for 19. All right, listen, from 3. He's just developing. He's getting back into his game. But you have Powell, great signing to replace Boozer. You have Joakim Noah, the last Defensive Player of the Year
for sure.
And he could definitely get it again. You also have Jimmy Butler. He's entering his prime, playing great. You have, lost it right there.
Oh, well, Josh, you made that comparison to when the Big Three was formed in Miami. Well, I feel like this is a better Big Three in general, so they can make it happen because I feel like Kevin Love is a more complete player than Chris Bosh, and Kyrie is like a lot better point guard than they had Mario Chalmers. So I feel like they're gonna make things happen for sure.
Yeah, but think about it like that. They had Dwayne Wade at shooting guard. Who do they have at shooting guard? Yeah, they have Dion Waiters, but Dion Waiters wants to be Kyrie Irving. He wants to take all the action. I mean, you took Dwayne Wade from the Heat and made him Kyrie Irving in the Cavs. You lack in that shooting guard position.
That's true, but you can't.
What they lacked in that point guard position.
You can't discount the role players that they brought in. They're bringing in Mike Miller, James Jones, all this old guys. So
yeah, and that's exactly who the Heat brought in, and they're just getting older and older. James Jones has made 2 threes last year, and Mike Miller can barely move anymore. I mean, in Miami, the last 2 years, his back was nowhere to be found.
There's lots of question marks all over. Well, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with more NBA madness. We're back here with more NBA on Offsides. And now recently, guys, the owners voted to not change the draft lottery system. What do you guys think about that?
Honestly, I feel like I was pro-reform. I think it was 17-13, but it didn't get the majority that they needed to change it. But if the change happened, I think it would have gone from 25% chance that the worst team gets the first pick to a 12% chance. So you're still going to have a chance that that bad team gets a good player. And, I understand that there's the trouble with all these super teams being formed and all these big threes and stuff, but you're still going to have a chance for the smaller market teams to have a chance. And also, I think it was very telling something Danny Ainge said. He was like, it's still going to make everybody be competitive and want to win. So I feel like that'd be better for the game and people would care to watch more instead of all these teams tanking.
Yep.
Listen, it's smart that it didn't go through. First of all, you say they're going to change the percent. Even though it's 25%, it's so rare that the team that has 25% gets that first pick. I mean, Cleveland has got it almost 3 years in a row. And I don't even think they ever were the 25%. Maybe that one season where they went 7 for 59, I think. That was awful. But listen, it's better we don't change it. It's worked. I understand that teams are tanking because of it. But I mean, what's the other solution? How do you fix that tanking even if you change the percent by that much? Teams will still tank because teams will still not have that skill. And the 25% does help get that first pick. I mean, yeah, it doesn't always happen, but it's going to make it even worse for that team because now it's only 12.
That's true. I completely disagree with you, Justin. The bottom 4 teams getting an even 12%, that makes sense because I'm sick of tanking. You guys got to be sick of tanking. Did you see the 76ers last year? Who
would want to watch one of their games?
A bunch of D-League players, and they're avoiding free agency, trying to lose. That's just not a good business model. I don't want to see some bum squad. It's the NBA.
Those teams aren't going to be making money if they keep tanking. So if you even out the percentage a little bit, it's definitely going to help.
In your face, Justin.
All right. I still agree with my point.
We're switching gears here. Now, recently, the general managers of the NBA just came up with a bunch of polls about predictions for the year, and they said that San Antonio's going to repeat, which I agree with, and that LeBron's going to be the MVP. What are your guys' take on that?
Honestly, I feel like I'm still in the Cavs camp, so I feel like the Spurs are just a tad old, but you definitely can't discount them. I mean, Tony Parker's 32. He's still doing his thing. Kawhi Leonard's only 22, and we saw, he was the Finals MVP. He's only going to keep making things happen. So I feel like there's definitely a chance for the Spurs to sneak in there.
Do you think they are going to repeat for sure? Or is that your number one option right there?
No, definitely. I'm going to go Cavs because of the big 3.
All right, listen. I'm still with the Spurs, and the way the Cavs are looking right now, I mean, it's just preseason, but the way they're talking, they're getting hyped, but I don't know if it's the right hype. I mean, like we said before, Miami, they didn't win their first year, It's going to take time for them to mesh, and I don't know how quick that will be, especially because the whole roster's new. Kyrie's only played with 3 or 4 of those players, and LeBron hasn't played with any except Mike Miller and James Jones. So I'm sticking with the Spurs. They're always considered the old team, but they always come out. And Kawhi Leonard is a great player, and he's just getting better. He's getting better defensively, and what's most important is that he's getting better offensively.
Very true.
But the thing is, the West is really strong, so you have a lot of teams that could sneak in there. I feel like you definitely can't discount the Clippers. I mean, Chris Paul doing his thing, Blake Griffin's only getting better, DeAndre Jordan. So.
Yeah, but you could say the East is really strong too. They've definitely gotten better.
Nah, definitely not.
Listen, Miami.
We got a couple top teams, and that you got the Wizards with an old Paul Pierce.
Yeah, the Wizards with the old Paul Pierce isn't that bad. They almost beat the Heat with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh last year, and you know what? They probably should have the way they were playing in the beginning.
I agree with you, Justin. I like the Spurs. I'm a big Spurs fan. But I agree with you. There's a lot of parity in the West. The Thunder, if Durant comes back, who knows what's going to happen with that. Warriors, Clippers, you name them. I think the West is a lot stronger than the East, and I don't think the Cavaliers are going to pull it together this year. That's what I think. And I think LeBron is going to be the MVP. you just can't stop him. He's in the prime of his career.
What do you think about LeBron being MVP?
I think he could definitely have a chance. I feel like with Durant missing all that time, he's not going to really win it. But I feel like you could definitely see someone like Chris Paul or Blake sneak in there as the MVP. That was, I think they were like 4th or 5th on the rankings for the GM. So.
Yep.
See, I don't see LeBron being MVP. I'm really, it's definitely a surprise. But I'm all in for Melo. All right. Ever since Phil Jackson, every time Phil Jackson has come into an organization, their star player has got better. Kobe was at 19 points per game, 22 points per game.
So
Jordan was at 30. It's not all about the points. Don't get me wrong.
He's all of a sudden become like a complete player just because Phil Jackson comes?
I'm not just saying that either. Their roster has gotten a lot better. I think he's definitely become a better player. He's following the LeBron getting skinny regimen. Who knows, that could definitely help. I mean, I'm a big Melo fan. You know, I don't think that it's bad that Phil Jackson came in. I think it's a lot. It's really
definitely good, but
it's
I feel
definitely
like
a plus. The Knicks team is much better. Stoudemire feels like 19 after bathing in red wine. I mean, it can definitely. I think he is the option. I don't. LeBron hasn't meshed with his team yet, and that's really a big problem for him. I mean, he did win MVP when he was on the Heat the first year, but doesn't mean that it's going to be the same as it was.
Melo's still all about the points, though. He's not dishing it out.
I mean, we haven't seen Melo play this season, so we don't know that yet. And he said he's going to be averaging less players on the media a couple weeks ago. So
we're just going to have to wait and see. That's all we have for this week's NBA extravaganza. We'll send it back to you, Kelly.
Thanks for joining us on Offsides. We'll be back next week to talk about the hottest topics in sports. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram for some behind-the-scenes action. You can contact us at offsides10@gmail.com. On behalf of our entire cast and crew, thanks for watching.